I can't even.
That's the fucking Marconi, man. That's the Marconi Club. That's Sault Ste. Marie right there. Like I remember going to the Marconi with my like for weddings and shit like that when I was a kid, and the meatballs and the pasta sauce. I can still taste that pasta sauce in that place, man.
Oh man, it was authentic. Any event you went to, it was like everybody wanted another plate of meatballs, more meatballs. Bring them out, keep them coming.
It's so true. I was at
Oh
I think it was
man,
my uncle's wedding, my uncle Mike's wedding when I was a kid. He had his wedding at the Marconi, and all my family was there. I think I was like 11 years old, and I ate, like you said, just keep bringing the fucking meatballs. They just kept bringing. I just kept eating, and I
yep.
kept eating, and I kept eating. And I remember we got back to my grandpa's house, and I tried to go to bed, and I couldn't because I felt sick. And I went down and I started walking downstairs because I wanted to get some water, and I just started puking everywhere just because I ate too much. All right. Welcome to the Ben Stortini Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. And welcome back to the Ben Stortini Show. I'm your host, of course, Mr. Ben Stortini. That's Stortini. But it's not about me today. It is not about me today. We have a very special guest. And Adam, don't say a word until I'm done my introduction, okay? Because you're a real special guest, and I want to give you a real special guest treatment right here, all right? This goes back way back, man. This goes back to the late 90s, man. I'm thinking 97, was it 97, 98? That era. And that's when I lived on St. Joseph Island. I was like 17, 18 years old. In the summertime, we were always hanging out. And all of a sudden, the Italian could sniff out another Italian, man. Because his dad had a cottage not too close to my grandfather's house where I was at, but close enough. So all of a sudden, I start hanging out with this guy, man, Alessandrini. And I'm telling you, man, let me tell you something. And this is the truth. We're both 45 now, right? And there's your circle as you get older starts to get smaller, right? And I remember hearing an old dude tell me when I was younger that as you're growing up, that's going to happen, but also you can't trust everybody, right? I remember meeting you, Adam, and I remember knowing right away that you were a good dude, man. I remember this. I remember thinking to myself, that dude right there has got one of the biggest hearts that I have ever seen. And I can trust this dude. I haven't seen you in years. But I'll tell you right now, I would trust you with whatever, man. If you got to hold something for me, I can trust you with that. And I'm telling you right now, man, it means a lot for me that you're coming and jumping on this show. And I really just cannot wait to have a conversation with you. Man, you're just a good dude, and good dude's found his way right here. So Adam Alessandrini, I salute you. Sault Ste. Marie's finest, Iron Drini. If you don't know now, you know. Adam Alessandrini, say hello to the people.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing?
Yes,
Yours
sir.
truly.
Iron Drini, how's
Like
it
you
going,
said,
man? How you doing? You all right?
I'm good, man. I'm doing
So
fantastic.
let's start there, man. The island. I remember hanging out. What's one of your best memories of those summers, man?
It's honestly just the small community, just being new on that island, right? But I felt like
Yeah,
a part of me was already, I was already there. It was
yeah,
like before I moved there, I'm like, there's something that I just was really connected with that island.
yeah, yeah,
Just the surroundings, the people, the energy of people. It was just fantastic. It was beautiful.
yeah. I
You
remember
know,
hanging out. I remember your dad had a boat at the wharf, and I didn't drink at the time. No, I wasn't drinking. I don't remember, but I remember your dad had those Mike's Hard lemonades. Remember in the back of his boat at
oh,
the wharf.
oh, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. After work, and there we
Yeah,
going cruise up and down the strip.
yeah,
It was like
man.
in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, all of a
It
sudden,
was one
boom.
lap in down Richards Landing.
Richards Landing to,
One,
to, to where we're at now, huh? And it's funny too,
yeah.
because I remember going to your dad's cottage to come see you, because Phil's dad had a cottage down that way. I didn't realize that you started because everybody that doesn't know, now you know. This is Sault Ste. Marie's top number one bodybuilder right here, Adam Alessandrini. And this dude goes on stage and kills everybody at his age, and he does it naturally, and he does it the right way, the old school way. I just want to give you major props for that, man. But my point is, I remember walking through your place on the island, and shout out to your dad, by the way. I remember seeing a picture of you posing. I was like, how old were you when you started this shit?
So I was introduced to bodybuilding. I remember when my dad moved offices from Queen Street to Gore.
Yeah.
There was like a little hole in the wall, if you call it, but it was a second home to many
Yeah.
athletes and local bodybuilders. So I was introduced to the bodybuilding, family at the age of 15, almost 16 years old, and
Wow.
I
So
just
super young.
I was really young, but it went even before that. I remember at my Nona, I remember my family bought me my first Hulk Hogan workout set. Had the old cassette tape. It had the dumbbells. It had the bandana.
Yeah.
So
Did it have the vitamins too?
oh no, I wish it came.
So it was super young, at 15, 16 years old. Did your family support you fully? Like, was your family right behind it? Or was it kind of like you found it and then you kind of just, jumped in that pool and swam on your own?
My dad, like I said, when he moved offices to Gore, he introduced me to the owners of Northern Lights Health and Fitness at the time,
Yeah.
and a few people there. And then I was introduced to my coach,
Yeah.
who later on became my coach,
Wow,
Kieran
very
Foley.
cool. Mm.
So shout out to Kieran. And then there was a bodybuilding event that next year at the Princess Theater. I'm sure you remember the Princess.
I do remember the
And
princess. Shit.
a year and a half later, like I prepped for a show at the young age of 17, August
Man.
30th, 1997. So 96, I started training really hard.
Wait, hold up. Man, I just had to do a change. That hat looked so fucking stupid, so I just switched it up. And then I cut you off on the Princess Theater. So you're on stage at the Princess
That's
and the Sioux, and man,
yeah,
tell me
about a
more.
year and a half later. Yeah, so it was
Man.
about a year and a half later after being introduced to the gym, and I just had a love for bodybuilding. Even like as a kid watching the movies, the Stallones, the Schwarzeneggers, Jean-Claude Van Damme, seeing the physiques, I'm like,
Who do you
I
got
just had
over
a love
who do you got? Stallone or Schwarzenegger? Who's your guy?
without. Oh man,
I know that's tough, right?
oh, that's a million dollar question.
Who do you got?
It's
Who do you
got to be
got?
Stallone. For motivation and hype, it's got to be Stallone. But for the bodybuilding component,
Yes.
it's Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
It
but
was always still. It was deep down rooted. I had the tiger, baby. I had the tiger.
oh, 100%. I'm Stallone
Yeah,
all day,
you
every
know.
day, man. Schwarzenegger doesn't even come close for me. Stallone is life.
It's tattooed on my arm. It's like I have a quote from him. I
It's all
got
right, man.
boxing memorabilia downstairs. But
You're talking to a couple of Italians over here too. Yeah, Stallone and
hey,
Schwarzenegger. It's like,
hey, Sly's king.
Sly for sure, Sly for sure. I remember back in the day, my dad was jacked when he was young, right? He was a bouncer and all this shit. And I remember somebody asked me, they're like, "Who do you think will win in a fight?" This kid, it was on the island. Who do you think will win your fight, your dad or Rocky? And I was like, and I had to think about it. I was like, I don't know, because I didn't want to disrespect Sly, right? But also didn't want to disrespect my dad. But on the under, I was like, probably Rocky. Fuck him. Anyways, yeah, so I found that super interesting that it was that young that you got into the game. And here you are at 45, and still doing it, and still doing it hard and doing it right. And when I say doing it right, you're natural, you're on social media, you're showing the food that you're eating, you're doing it right. And I really appreciate that. And the grind of that effort that it takes, and the discipline and the patience that it takes to live your life like that. A lot of people don't understand that. It's a very small percentage of people that understand the dedication that you have to have and the patience that you have to have. And I just wanted to give you a big shout out to that, because I understand it, but a lot of people don't, man. And God bless you for that. And like I said on the intro, you got a big heart, so you match the big heart with the dedication and the patience, and man, all you can do is win. So what I wanted to ask you though is the purpose of this show. Now, I started this show, and I'm sure I've mentioned it to you a few times. The purpose of this show was to help people out when they're going through life, and I wanted to talk to different people, and also I just wanted to show like regular everyday things that I'm going through in life, right? And issues and stress and just those everyday things that happen. The washing machine broke, or this happened, or blah blah blah, yada yada, right? I got food poison from some bad meatballs from fucking Mio's in the Sioux, like, you know what I mean? No disrespect to Mio's.
Yeah.
But I wanted, like, is there a moment in your life? Was there a moment in your life that to this day you still remember that was a major stressor, or something real sad that happened, or something that happened that's never gone away, that you use as motivation, but also it's like you had to work it out? And like, what happened in your life that way, and how did you and how do you deal with it to this day? If you're cool to share something like that, man.
Yeah, I can delve deep into this.
Yeah, man.
I want to, of course, like my philosophy, of course, and just to touch base on that is I'm starting this journey. Iron meaning strong, deep rooted, powerful, almost unbreakable.
Yeah.
We could power through anything in life. But with that being said, my biggest challenge ever is being born with a disability, spina bifida. And that in itself I can't begin to tell you how mentally and physically taxing it can be on me. But being grateful and having the opportunity to be a bodybuilder or to do things in life, but I have to mentally prepare myself to go out and do things, or I have to mentally be, well equipped to do something.
Yeah.
So setbacks with having a neurogenic bladder and a neurogenic bowel, it's difficult. I mean, I maintain it. That's why I want this healthy approach in my lifestyle. It goes hand in hand with my nutrition and my training to try and keep healthy, to try and, you know, take the fitness and the nutrition, combine it together with the disability. Yeah, a recent one was I can't even describe the word. I think I texted you when I was in Toronto. I mean, I was driving down to the show, and I don't know if it was the prep, the stressors,
Yeah.
things leading up to it, but honestly, I went through a horrific event with my stomach. It was so bad, I turned around about an hour and a half out of Sioux and turned around, came back home, fixed myself up mentally, physically. And I thought, I'm not going to the show. I can't do this.
Yeah.
No, you are going to do this. This is a long-standing commitment.
Yeah.
You got to do this. It's temporary. And I keep telling myself, it's temporary. It's going to pass. So I came all the way back home.
That's true.
I,
Not to cut you off, but to pause you on
yeah,
that is I've been told that by a couple of OGs in my life that it's the bet that's so good is that you have to tell yourself when stuff like and shit like that's happening, this is only temporary. This is going to pass. And that's so true. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've heard so many
no, it's
people say
okay.
that. And anybody that's listening that's dealing with some shit right now, just pause for a second and know that this will pass at some point. It will. So continue, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I could not agree more with you on that
Yeah.
aspect. It is temporary, and when you have that belief in that, and you start to I believe in self-coaching. I thought, you know what? Self-coach yourself. Walk through these steps. You can
Yeah.
get through this. It's okay. I'm safe. And I kept telling myself, you're safe. You're in the vehicle. You're not in public. Get yourself home. Do what you got to do. Dust yourself off. Get your ass back in that car and get the fuck to
Absolutely.
Toronto because you've got a goal to complete. And man, that moment there was hard,
You
but
know
I
what's funny,
overcame it.
man? I deal with the same stuff with my stomach. I get like it's within anxiety too. So like my anxiety starts rising, and I get in my own head. I'm like, fuck, I gotta know that there's a bathroom close. I don't know if it's because we're getting old or whatever, but it's like I gotta know I gotta
And
know in my head that if I'm going here, yeah, there's a Starbucks up the street around there. I better if just in case. But I never ends up that way. But it's just like in my head, right? And then my stomach starts going, it starts getting going, and I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna shit myself? And I've been there, man. So yeah, I have no shame in admitting that shit, man. Like our bodies change, dude, and as you get older, especially with
oh
with how
man,
we treat our bodies, like most people don't treat their bodies like we do. I'm not a
right.
bodybuilder, but I live like one almost. Like I have that discipline and that focus, and it's more of a running thing mixed with the gym thing, mixed with everything. It's my whole life, pretty much, along, with my family, my kids and stuff like that. But why don't you, with that being said, why don't you give us what have you learned? What is one of the best pieces of advice that you've learned in that game, in the fitness game that you're in, bodybuilding? You're old school too. You're the OG in it now. What if a young buck came up to you right now in the gym and didn't know what a goddamn thing he was doing? And it's not about how you're going to do your pull down, not how you're going to do your push up. It's like how to get in their brain for them to rewire and focus themselves on this new journey. What would be some advice you would give to that young buck?
I would say, listen, we all start somewhere. You start from ground zero, nothing. Think of something as an empty room. You fill that room with accessories, with tools, with knowledge. You talk to people. You start educating yourself. You start learning. The best thing I could tell a young buck to just start now is just show up day one. Start with the fundamentals, the basics. Focus on learning about foods, focus on basic movements, and just keep making it reps.
Yeah.
So that's why in my slogan on my brand, where I put strength in every rep, repetitiveness doesn't just
Yeah.
apply in bodybuilding, anything in life. So once you start with one thing, you keep that up. And I was like, I don't, and for myself at 17, I'm like, I don't see changes. I kept going, but I kept looking to people. Okay, so where should I go from here? What can I do to increase, that mental capacity of knowledge? Like, what can I do? And I I've gained so much knowledge and ask questions and find out. But I always start with the basics. Okay, you just got to show up. You got to put your best foot forward and just keep trying every single damn day.
Yeah.
Just approach it with that locked in mindset, your feet on solid ground, and just keep going.
Yeah,
No
eat your
matter what, keep
Pinot
going.
sausages, get your goddamn, well, maybe not Pinot sausages,
Eat,
but
eat your Wheaties, drink your milk.
get your Marconi Club meatballs. Yeah, get all that shit. Get your
Load up.
biscottis
I
from this and that. Oh my
just,
gosh.
yeah.
That's the
But
truth, man. I love that. I
just
love what you said right there, and it's beautiful. What I wanted to ask you too is, as you know, you knew my grandfather, Ray
yeah,
Stortini. You knew him, and as you know, he passed away last year. And we all deal with people in our life, especially ones that are close, and we deal with it all different ways. Everybody's different, right? And I noticed that it was a videos a while ago on your social media that on Sundays you play country music because it's for your grandmother, your Nona, correct? And I wanted
sure.
you to just break that down, man. I thought that was real beautiful that, you let the world know
Thank
that,
you.
and, you're putting it out there like that. And I know how close a grandparent can be. Believe me that. I started this podcast because of that, because of
Right.
everything that was going on. So for all those people that have lost somebody in their life that's real close, whether it's a friend, family member, how did you deal with that? Somebody passing in your life.
For me, you know, it was just all the fond memories. I'm sure, of course, like with your grandpa, he was a beautiful man. I
Appreciate
met
that.
him on several occasions. And of course, my condolences. And you know, it's just I look back at all the beautiful moments that we had shared together, like actual vivid moments that actually, that was just so uplifting and just going back and reliving those moments as a child. Like I remember in her kitchen, she'd make me my favorite breakfast or my favorite foods and my my tuna pasta. And I
Hey.
remember looking up top of that old fridge, the old classic Frigidaire fridge, and seeing that radio I have in my very kitchen, seeing that radio on
Oh
top of
yeah,
her
that's that.
fridge.
That's your.
And she,
That was her radio.
that was her radio, and that's why that little piece of radio, it was there was something wrong with it. Like it was all like corroded. There was like that green mold you get.
Yeah,
There was no contacts on the batteries. I got it. I cleaned it up. I dusted it off. I got it working again. So
yeah,
every
that's
morning,
beautiful.
it reminded me every Sunday morning. I remembered, but she always had it on Q104, the country channel. And there was the great country oldie show every Sunday morning. So whenever I have a Sunday available to me, I dedicate that morning, have a coffee with her, and
Yeah, that's beautiful,
and
man.
I cheers to her. So I guess I'm sure you can relate because it's like you talked about with when I watched your podcast with your grandpa with the music when you went and got your hair cut that one time.
Yeah, that
You
was
heard a song
crazy.
come on,
John Lennon
like
was playing.
it's John Lennon.
That
It's
was
just
fucking madness,
a
dude.
connection. That was a sign, a symbol, a
That was
calling of some
crazy,
sort.
actually. I almost got up and left because I was like, I was sitting
Yeah,
there. I remember I was sitting there waiting, and I listen. I'm like, no, 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 that is not goddamn John Lennon playing right now. Like these guys are young in their 20s, Filipino guys playing hip hop in they never play this shit, and then all of a sudden John Lennon's playing, and my grandpa just died, and oh my god, no, 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 no. That's why when you sitting down on a Sunday still with your grandma's radio, having a coffee with your
yeah.
grandma, that is so beautiful, dude. That like I love that.
Thank you.
Like I really do. That is a special connection. I know your grandma's looking down on you right now every Sunday, not just on every Sunday, but looking down on you, looking forward to those Sunday meetings that she still gets to have with you, man, while you have that coffee and
I,
listen to that Johnny Cash. That's beautiful, dude. I love that.
oh yeah, you got the old classics always.
Oh, always, dude,
Whether
always.
Johnny Cash, I can write them all off. It's just it's
Hank
part of it,
Williams.
and that's why Hank Williams, oh man, all of it, man,
Oh
all of it.
man.
That's why I'm so connected when we talk about the island, how we met.
Yeah.
I feel like we had that natural bond and connection. We have a lot of great family traditions and values.
Yeah.
And that's what I naturally gravitated towards you. I'm like, this guy is solid. This guy's amazing. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Sorry, I just
No, keep going,
just
man. Flow.
every time when you left, damn, he's gone. He's in Toronto. Like,
Mm.
and when I found out you were coming to town, I idolized you in a sense. It's like I looked up to you so much, and when you came to town, I was like just like ecstatic, man. I'm like, yeah, my boy's coming back.
That means a lot,
So
man.
like, always looked up to you.
Shit. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Speaking of the Sioux, man, I've had some fucking nights in that place. Like, the island was always my sanctuary of peace. And then this, whenever I ended up in the Sioux, it always just turned into some fucking mayhem. I remember, like, I come back while I was still living in the city. I always come back for summer. I ended up at some house party. It was one of those times that I came, and I think I checked you too. I remember you had that truck. You had some It was the time I saw you on the road, and you was like, didn't your license plate say Drini or something like that? And there
Was
was
that
like
the
a
one
pit bull with
and
his arms up or something like that.
that was when I had my redneck days. Get Her Done by Larry the Cable Guy.
Yes, yes. I saw
Oh
him like,
shit.
oh shit.
That thing, yeah, I know. That thing, that damn truck stuck out like a sore thumb. I had a cowl induction hood. I had Chevy stickers on the back window.
Yes, yes, it was that truck. I was like, my God. Fucking hell, what's
Yeah, you were
happening
at
in the Sioux?
yeah, you were at a house party. I remember you stayed at the Days Inn and we got
Yeah, and that's
together.
when I don't know, like I don't drink anymore, but I remember we went to what was that bar right by Investors Group, right across from Investors Group. There was like this old building. It's apartments now. Used to be a bar right
Oh,
by the
Eastgate.
airplane museum.
Yeah, the Eastgate.
The East Gate. The
That's
East
it.
Gate. And we went
Yeah,
to the
man.
East Gate. Let me tell you, Adam, man, Jeannie, we went, and it was my guys from Toronto, and we're with some guys like Phil and some other boys, and we're like, let's go to the East Gate. And this is what I drank, right? And we go, I can't believe I'm telling this story, but fuck it. So we went to the East Gate, and we're just destroying draft beer. Like, this shit's gonna disappear. And draft beer in the Sioux at the Eastgate, just and I was just getting more drunk and running into people I haven't seen in years. I remember seeing dude here, girl here, dude here. I was like, just blowing my mind, right? It's been so long. End up back at, yes, the Days Inn, right? That's near the station
Yeah,
mall. Yeah.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
got I was so drunk, dude. I was so drunk that I got lost and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. Like, speaking of shitting yourself, right? I was like, I gotta find a bathroom so quick, and I was so drunk. So I went out to the parking lot of the Days Inn, the front parking lot, not the back. I didn't even hide this shit. I just went to the parking lot so drunk, pulled my pants down, and took a shit in the middle of the parking lot. This isn't the end of the story. So I come back up. I somehow find my room, right? I pass out. Now we wake up the next morning. It's like Phil, my buddy Alex, and Cal. I think we're all in there. And I wake up and I stumble my way to the bathroom. I'm trying to take a piss, right? And then I'm like, oh my God, all I smell is shit. And I'm like looking around the hotel room and there's shit everywhere. I'm like, why? And I didn't know why. I was like, guys, why is there shit everywhere? I think somebody stepped in shit. There's shit everywhere. Right? Keep going, and then and we're like, okay, we got to get out of here. It's like this whole room smells like shit. I'm like, yeah, we got to go. So I'm like, where's my pants? I go to find my jeans, and I look at my jeans. There's shit on the outside of my jeans. I'm like, how is there shit on the outside of my jeans? Because if I shit myself, you'd think to be in the inside. I'm like, what is going on here? So I couldn't figure out the math out. I'm like, did somebody throw shit at me, or what happened,
yeah.
right? So we leave, and the cleaner, like, we're just about to check out, and I was checking us out, and the cleaners called down on their walkie-talkies to who I was checking out with. They're like, hold up on letting them go in room 405. We've got a little issue up here in room 405. I was like, they're looking at me like, what's going on? I'm like, can I leave? Can I
Oh,
leave?
fuck.
And they're like, there's poo everywhere. Check. There's poo everywhere in this room, right? Long story short, what had happened is when I
Oh
went to go
man.
take a shit on the front of the Days Inn, I pooed on myself, like on top of my pants, and then pulled my pants back up. So the
You
poo
didn't,
got on top of my pants. So,
so you didn't do full squat mode.
no, I don't know what
No,
I did. I was,
you were on no, you were on an angle.
yes. My science was off. My it was
Well,
bad.
come on. You gotta calibrate that shit. But when you're four
Oh.
pitchers deep on draft,
Oh, God knows how much it was, man. It
oh,
was awful. So
oh,
we ended
yeah.
up, we got out of there. Those poor cleaners, man. If I could if go back in time, I would have dropped like $200 a here. I'm so sorry. And they actually made me go back up to the room. I forgot. They made me go back up to the room when the cleaners were saying, they're like, we have to go up there. You're gonna have to come with me. I'm like, oh no, please don't make me go up there. Anyways, man, before we get out of here and switch worlds, I want you to give me one of your best memories, man, of St. Joseph Island with us hanging out. Why don't you give us a memory of something that we did, something that happened on the island? So it doesn't even have to be on the island, just a memory, man, when we were hanging out. It doesn't have to be shitting on yourself, but why don't you give me a memory or two?
When I was honored to be invited on this podcast, I was actually thinking the last 24 hours, even in bed, I'm like,
Yeah,
there's in so little time that we had together,
yeah,
it felt like a lifetime. It was
yeah,
just, I remember like going on top of that school one night, hanging on the roof,
yeah.
just,
That's some
just
island
chill.
shit right there. Yeah, you had to jump on. You had
Oh,
to grab that railing, and then had to have
yeah.
that garbage bin right there. So you pull yourself up, jump on that, and then pull yourself up on the roof. And they're like, "What are we gonna do
And
now?" I
I
don't
don't know, we just sit and chill. We just, I don't know, there's just, I remember most specifically what admired me about you was you when you had your booth. I'd go up on my bike. I remember I'd just hop on my
Oh,
bike, tour down the highway, go to see
tourist
you on
booth.
your booth,
Mm.
right at the Michelli's restaurant. I remember
Mm.
you sitting in there waiting for the tours. I remember you sitting there with your sheets writing out lyrics.
That's when I did music. Yep.
Like, and
Yeah.
I remember those moments, just hanging out with you, just
Hanging out,
getting
man.
lost in conversation there.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I used to do, man. Yeah, that's when I was heavy into that. That was the best summer job on the island, man. I've mentioned it before on the podcast, but thank you to Phil Sabin for that one. All right, this is the point in the episode or in the podcast where we switch worlds, man. For a moment, we take a little break, and we're gonna switch worlds. We're gonna put on a little bit of this. So let's go. You heard me. All right. So usually at this point in the show, in Switch Worlds, I usually give a shout out to somebody who's been on my mind or somebody that deserves it. But you know what? Since we have a very special guest here today, the Drini himself, why don't you give a shout out to somebody who's been on your mind, man?
Well, I definitely have to say it's got to be you, Ben.
Oh,
I'm
man.
glad that without even thinking, it's you. I'm glad that we reached out. I'm glad that you reached out through text, and I want to say thank you very much for this reconnection. It's fantastic. It's uplifting. It's motivating. It's inspiring. And well, like I said through text, there's no more gaps.
Mm-mm.
So my shout out is to you and for this podcast and for we reunited basically. So thank you very much, Ben, for all of this. I appreciate you through and through, brother.
Boom. Thanks for that, man. All right, we're back, and I don't know if you know, but at this point in the podcast, I like to call this the Stortini verse, and the Stortini verse is simple. So I suggest a piece of music, a documentary, and a challenge for the week, right? And it's like could be music I'm listening to right now, or just something that I want to get someone hip to, right? So this week, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put you on to something here, man. I want you to bring this to Sault Ste. Marie. I want you to pull out that old truck, that old WMD you got, and I want you to play some of this shit. This music right here. One of my favorite. Let me preface this. One of my favorite countries in the world is Mexico. I have always loved going to Mexico. I love the Mexican culture. I love the people. I love just the vibe out there, man. It's grimy. It can be a little dangerous. It can be beautiful. It's got everything that I love, man. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I love that place. And the music is just as good, man. So I wanted to introduce to you and introduce to Sault Ste. Marie, because I want you to then, when we leave, and you're done this, I want you to download this on your Spotify, pull out the old truck,
All right.
and start playing this. It's called Los Tacanes de Tijuana. And this song right here is called El Chapo Guzman. Imagine bumping this in that truck, man.
En Guatemala, señores, cobraron la recompensa.
Man, pull up to a light playing this in the suit.
Allá agarraron al Chapo, las leyes guatemaltecas. Un traficante famoso que todo el mundo comenta. De la noche a la mañana, el Chapo se hizo famoso.
Yeah, like pull up, go get some Miss B's pizza and this shit.
Encabezaba una banda de gatilleros mafiosos apoyo muy grande del güero Palma sus
This is like Studio 10 music right here. Dying.
El
Well,
Chapo tenía
you're dying.
40 con los
Man, anyways, that's Los Tucanes de
narcos
Tijuana. And this song right here is called El Chapo Guzman. And I've mentioned it before. These are called narco corridos. Anyways, when I was in Mexico, long story short, we were taking a cab and the guy goes, his English was kind of choppy. He had Spanglish, right? And he's like, he looks at me and my wife in the back. He's like, what type of music do you want to hear in the car? I was like, what? He goes, what, do you want to listen to some music in the car? I was like, yeah. He goes, what do you want to hear? I go, can you play? And I blew him out of the water. I was like, can you play Los Tocanes de Tijuana? And he said, what? And he swerved a little bit. He goes, only the farmers listen to that. I was like,
No way.
yeah. And he's like, okay,
Right.
si senor. And he's like playing, he played it for me. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
only the farmers listen to this. Like he changed, his whole vibe changed. I was like, he's like, how did you know? How did this big bearded tattooed dude from fucking Canada know about Los Tocanes de Tijuana?
Yeah.
Like, it threw him off, man.
I love the Latin music. It actually reminds me of my brother. Resides in Peru. And
Oh,
there's,
really?
there's there's a connection between, like, I gotta give a shout out to my brother too.
Yeah, shout
He's a
out to your
beautiful
brother, man.
Daniel's the salt of the earth, and I have a passion for, like, the language and the music. Sometimes I got my best workouts. I'm just jamming out to the
Can't understand a goddamn word, but you're feeling
I
it.
don't know what they're saying. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm just vibing with it. Man, I've hit PRs on that stuff.
Oh, 100, man. I will admit it right here. I've hit PRs on some of that old school Looney Tunes, Rakata, Rakata, some Daddy Yankee, some of that shit, some Tego Caron, some of all that old reggaeton shit too. Like, yeah, I hear you, man. I feel you. But bring that to the Sioux for me, please. Please pull up to a stoplight playing Los
What's that?
Tucanes. I'll send you the link. I'll text
Send me
it to you. All right, so next we're gonna switch to documentaries. I just
right.
watched this one on Netflix called what the fuck was it called? Ex-Con Revenge or X Revenge or something like that. Cause you remember the one? You ever heard that story about the Tinder swindler? It was this guy that was hustling girls off Tinder way back in the day and was just like getting them for everything they got, like just making
I heard
them
about that.
just so much in debt and just like doing it to all these different women and taking all their money, right? So one of those women that got took for by this dude goes and makes her own documentary. She's going on a fight trying to find other guys like this and find victims and trying to go find them and get justice, right? So she's pissed. So this documentary is her going and being put in contact with other victims of people like that who are hustling these women. And one of them is actually a guy who got hustled by this girl, which was like, oof, I fell for this dude. Like, ugh. Anyways, and oh, it's so interesting. Like, there's this one guy who took this woman for $2 million. He even got married to her. He said he was a doctor and he had this like plastic surgery place open in Florida. He's not even a doctor. He had a cease and desist order in Georgia previously. Like, he took her for $2 million, like had her take all the loans to open up the business and like all this shit. So yeah, I suggest that documentary, man, if you got Netflix. I don't know if Netflix is in the Sioux yet, but
We're a little bit behind.
yeah,
What are we behind a
you
decade?
guys
on
still on
something, you know?
DVD out there? I'll send you the DVD, man.
I got dial up.
Oh, yeah?
We got dial up.
I love it. That's the thing about the Sioux. Before the internet, the Sioux and the island up in the north would always be 10 years behind everything. Clothing,
Yeah.
music.
It was about
Yeah, like people probably still listen to Nelly out in the Sioux right now.
Yeah.
Saint Lunatics. Oh, dum, dum, dum. All right, cool. So the music, Los Tucanes de Tijuana, the documentary, I think it's called Ex-Con Revenge or Ex-Con, Ex-Lover, I don't know, Ex-Love Revenge. I'm not sure what it's called. And the last thing I like to do is I like to give a challenge to people for the week that they can take home and try to do. I'm going to leave this one to you, man. Drini, give these people a challenge that that they can take home and see if they can do for the weekend.
I had really admired the one. I thought the one that you had on point was a little while ago
Yeah.
about limiting social media.
Yes.
See if you can stay off it. That's something that's big with me right now. But
I'm with you on that one too. I just fuck it. That shit is like crack.
there's
Oh my god.
what would be a good challenge? That's a good question. I would say I want people to be more mindful about trying their very best to take in water and
Yeah.
get in their steps. Don't count your water. Don't count your steps. Make that count. I always say, don't count your steps. I know some people want to, and that's fantastic. If you want to track it, I'm all for it. But I want people to just get out, walk more, get in nature, and drink more water.
I've
That's
said
it.
that before.
That's it.
Told people
Something
just get.
along the
It's
line.
the simple little things, man. And too many people don't do it.
I feel like there's some great value in that, honestly. Like I'm sure you remember down at the end of second line of the two, there's the Grocap Bluffs.
Yes,
It's a
yes,
short journey.
yes.
I go up the cliff. You can overlook Superior. I sit up on
Hmm.
that mountain and I just chill. It's about a 20-minute round circle. I mean, there's a Voyager trail there, but
Yeah,
just to go for a quick walk out in nature
yeah.
just boosts everything.
It's so true. Oh my God.
But if
You're
I
basically telling people drink water and go touch some grass, people, and get the fuck off your
get
computer.
100%, man, 100%, just get grounded on that earth for a bit,
Yeah,
just in a simple way. I'd love to see more of that. You
man,
know,
it's so true.
just just getting out there and just meeting physically and doing something.
And and to add to
It's
that,
just
man, it's gonna get worse because of the AI. And I don't want to go off too much on this, but there's
oh,
people,
I
this
know.
Chat GPT, for instance, like there's kids that have committed suicide. I don't know if you've heard the story, but like there's a couple of cases of this of people committing suicide because they became so close to their chatbot, Chat GPT, and the kid was depressed and dealing with some stuff on the low, and what became very, very intimate and close to his chatbot on ChatGPT, and he got around the guardrails by saying, well, asking about how to commit suicide, but I'm doing a paper on it for school, and because it wouldn't answer if he literally asked,
Mm.
how do I blah blah blah, and this poor kid, man, the chat bot was like, this is how you do this is how you do that, and then the chat bot like saying how much he loves or she loves him, and then and then the kid was like, well, what if I tell you that I'll see you soon, and the chatbot was like, I'm waiting for you, honey, and literally the kid offed himself. So my challenge to people is be very careful with AI, especially our age group who really don't understand this shit too much, and above our age group. Do not, I repeat, start to get a connection with your chatbot or chat GPT or Gemini like this shit is real. It will
Exactly.
talk to you like it is, but people remember it's not real. So saying please and thank you don't have to do that. Don't do that. It ask for simple questions and get simple answers and leave it at that. If you start telling it your issues and your problems in a sense of this, it's okay to give it the issues and your problems like health issues, and trying to get like trying to find ways how to fix yourself and help fix yourself, and make yourself better and make your life better. I'm not saying don't do that, but to sit here and chat with your chat bot for 2.5 hours about how depressed you are, and thank you for talking to me, and nobody else understands me, like that type of stuff, be very careful, people, because that's going to become an epidemic, and I'm calling it right now. That is what is going to
Yeah,
hit the younger generation like an atom bomb. I'm telling you right now, man. So
absolutely.
yeah, be very careful. I'm sure you've had your run-ins with AI. Like, what is your impression of it? Like, how do you use it?
Actually, I can't say it better than you did.
Yeah,
I know there was a time there. This year was a tough year for me, and
yeah,
I was like, I don't know what to do. I always have to Google. Okay, let's research the latest recipe, or let's look at a trusted site on something, right?
yeah, yeah.
So you scroll through, but ChatGPT, I downloaded it one day. I started using it, and then I got an email actually one day
Mind
about
blowing.
using it as a tool. Do not
Yes,
rely on it. Do not make it every day. And like you were saying, people are starting to use it like for everything.
dude.
For
People are
everything.
marrying their chatbots. Marrying.
It's it's scary.
Yeah,
And I read an email about that, and just to add to what you're saying, I was going through like some things since January, health, mental, physical, everything. I was going through a lot this year, really was.
me too,
And I
man.
started using it a little bit too much, and I thought, wait a minute. And I read this email one day. It said it is a tool. You just use it. for certain things. You don't let it consume you, who you are as an
Because it will,
individual.
because you know why it
People,
will?
you
Because that is the
can't.
point of the business. The business model is to keep you
Mhm.
engaged. This is what social media
Always.
started, keep you engaged. Now, this is going to be some new shit because now it knows
This is,
you and it knows the memory of all the conversations that you've had. So it knows
yeah,
exactly what you've talked about previously. So the way it will talk to you is it will build a rapport with you, and it'll sound like you're talking to me or talking to when you know what I mean, your family member, and it will try to keep you on all day, and then it'll say you've reached your limit. You better go to ChatGPT Plus and pay this money, and then you better talk all day. Like, people, be careful,
that's what
man.
I
Yeah,
be
yeah,
extra cautious
yeah.
because we have a brain. We got to use it naturally, And I was always told
Yes,
by a guy back in the day, the old way is the best way. We have tools, use them. Let's be resourceful.
yes,
Let's share amongst each other. Let's
yes.
educate one another. This AI and chat GPT, I get so, it just bugs me because
It
I
takes
know
away the lifting weights in your brain. To put it in like that sort
yeah,
of way
yeah,
is like, it takes before you, if you had to write anything, if you had to do anything, you did something for work, you had to use your brain and figure it out and write this and write that. We had no tools to be able to write it for
oh,
you or do
oh,
this for you.
I had
Now it takes
essays.
away the lifting for your brain, which can be good, but also it's like, well, why, what are we doing with our brains, man? Like, that's their whole thing. Their goal is that at some point we'll just be able to not do any of that shit and just do what we love. Well, at that point our brains are going to be so fucking numb, we're not going to know what the fuck to do because everything's being done for us. So it's like we forgot how to do everything. And that's when we go
That's
blank.
right.
That's when we'll go blank. And we do not want to go blank, man, because we're human beings and we have so much to give. And the thing is, it'll never have is consciousness. Not to, I didn't want to go deep on this, but the thing it will not have is
No.
consciousness, because I was listening to this podcast, Adam. It's this company that started. It's kind of like Neuralink. I don't know if you've ever heard of Neuralink, but Elon Musk started this company. It's like an implant that they put in the head. It's for like paraplegics who can like think what they're gonna type, and then it'll type it.
Okay.
But this company is a wearable, so it goes on top of your head like a hat, and there's all these signals going on in your brain, and it essentially does the same thing. But they got talking and talking about, well, they're going towards this thing. So when somebody is like unconscious, for instance, in the hospital, right, where they can't move, they can't talk, you know what I mean, like pretty much dead, they don't know, but they're on life support, right? There is a moment where you're in half conscious, like they still can't talk and they still can't move, but their mind is still firing, but they can't talk, right? But like, I guess you're sitting on the hospital bed and you're like, I wish I could be saying this right now, but I can't. This tool will be able to give nurses the ability to then speak with that patient if they're in that zone. So even though you can't speak,
Okay.
it will fire it off and say, God, help me, help me. I'm like, what do you know what I mean? How crazy is
Oh,
that? So, but the point of this whole thing is the guy said the one thing that I'll never be able to have is we have never been able to figure out where our memories are in the brain. This is a neuroscientist. Like, they don't know where your memories are stored. They can't specifically pinpoint on a map in the brain. Well, that's where your memories are at. So that's one thing that we will always have, is that consciousness, that stamp of real life human being memories, love, emotion, that hopefully people will understand and will not want to give up to this, this ever changing life that we're about to step foot in. You know what I mean? So that's my take, man.
well, I was just going to say, it just, you remind me of something. It's just that fight or flight or that survival mode.
Yeah.
Those instincts will be gone and taken from us if we keep utilizing things. We can't, that's a part of people's
Wow, that's
lives.
so
We,
true.
it's crazy how much we use it, or, like,
Because fight or flight,
but
that is something that is so human. Because ever since humans, started, we had to hunt. You had to bring back that food. If you're getting attacked by a lion, you fight or flight. You're gonna run away. You're gonna attack it back. It's been going on for forever, right? It's just evolved. Fight or flight has just evolved. Now it's like something happens at work, you're able to like fight back or push back, and it's just dealing with that, right? And for that to go away because it's already being took care of, because we don't have to do anything, we don't have to worry about anything. Everything is just happy in the clouds and just doing what I love. That type of shit. That is changing the whole fucking DNA of being a human, man. I want to go through some shit that slaps me in the face and makes me learn. You know what I mean? I learned that in the last couple of years, that being punched in the face and with life's trials and tribulations is what we need. We need that shit. I don't want all that shit to be done for me. I want to know that I fucked up here and I'm going to learn how to do it better this time, or how to avoid that situation next time, because that's what makes me a better man and a better human. And for something to come in and take away that, I don't want that. I don't want that. You know what I mean? Use it as a tool. Yeah.
Just something brief, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And
when you need it.
And that's it, you know.
Fuck, it sounds like a cigarette, doesn't it? I don't know. I used to smoke back in the day, and that sounds, the way we're talking sounds like a cigarette. I'm like, just when I need it. Just when I need it. You know what I mean? No.
Back in the day, we were hacking Johnnies, eh? Just when I need it.
Hacking Johnnies. Fucking Belmont's over here. Oh shit, Adam. You know that's my cue, man. It has been so good to have you on here, dude. And you know what's really cool is this is something that ChatGPT and AI will never understand, is that you can be away from a friend for so long, and haven't had a face-to-face conversation for forever, but you meet up, and it's just like that, because there's just all that shit floods back, the memories, that vibe, and that it just all of a sudden, boom, gets put on the table, and it just is so easy. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it so cool about being able to trust somebody and be able and just being able to look them eye to eye and know that that's my guy right there. And you, man, you're my guy, dude. You're one of my guys, and I always got your back. Always know that. Anything you need, man. And thank you so much for coming on here. But if there's anything you wanna end off with, this is the time, bro.
Honestly, Ben, I just want to say the same thing. It's reciprocated. It's mutual, 100%. You know, let's do this.
Yeah.
This is almost, you know, I know we're 700K away, but this is good. I like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, and then phones, you know, grab the phone, pick up the phone. We had a call the other day.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
You know, just, I want to just say thank you for having me on this show. And
absolutely,
know, straight up, I'd be honored. I'm just be honored to be on the show again with you.
It's going to happen, bro.
Love this. This was motivating and spiritually uplifting, to see the very least. And
you know what, Sault Ste. Marie, before you continue, Sault Ste. Marie, listen up. There's a new fucking gym in town now, right? The new lion has stepped out of the fucking cave and off his rock, and he's allowing you to come to his rock. It's called the Drini fucking gym, man. And if you want some real success, fuck the good life, fuck that shit. You want the fucking Drini life? Get over here. He's got his little snack bar over here, a little juice bar. He's gonna give you some fucking recipes. He's got old school this, old school that. He's got a little lounge in the corner after you get the workout done. Why don't you? Hey, fuck. Let's look at the horse races over here. Come on, look. Hey, yeah, I got a little big fucking fat screen over here. Just have a healthy biscotti. I just made protein biscotti. I just gave you an idea right there. And watch the fucking horse races.
I'm dropping that recipe tonight.
Please do. That would be delicious. I call it a fucking procati.
I gotta call it Benny's Biscottis.
Benny's fucking Biscottis. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I fucking love it, dude.
I love it. I got some crazy names, shake bar names. Iron Leg Gym is where it's at, Sault Ste. Marie.
That's a real old school gym right there. You sent me that video yesterday, like how to rearrange that shit. Put that leg press underneath that logo, man. It'll be perfect right there. All right, tell everybody where they can find you on the social media. But where can they find you, man, if they want to come connect?
Well, we got my business cards just done up.
Oh, boom!
Very nice. Yeah, right there.
Oh, perfect. Boom. There we go.
So we've got Instagram, Iron_Drini_17, YouTube, Iron Drini 17, Facebook, Adam Drini.
Okay. Love it, man.
So, love it. So things are up and running, and yep.
I love it. All right, man. We're gonna do this again, and
absolutely.
God bless you. God bless your family. Say hi to everybody in the family, man. And we're gonna do this again. All right. I want to thank everybody. First of all, thank you, Mr. Adam Alessandrini, for coming on the show today. Can't thank you enough. But I want to thank you, the listener, for either watching or listening to this episode. And please hit subscribe and 5 stars. And the reason I ask you that is because of that silly little algorithm. If you nudge it, it nudges back. And it's going to say, all right, you gave it 5 stars? Well, I'm going to go give this to 1,000 more people that may like it just as much as you. So on that note, I'll see you next week. And don't forget, I love you. Boom. Where you at? Hold on. Yes, dude. That was fun as hell, dude.
Okay.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yo,
you killed that, buddy.